Forget the usual postcard destinations for just a moment. Let's head to a North African giant, a land where the Mediterranean kisses the Sahara.
Ah, Algeria.
Exactly, Algeria, the largest country on the continent.
And what makes Algeria so compelling, I think, is precisely that contrast you mentioned. You know, this rich Mediterranean heritage right up against the mystique of the Sahara. It creates this really unique cultural and geographical tapestry.
It really does. We've got a travel guide as our source today, and our mission is pretty simple. Uncover why Algeria, which is often overlooked, actually deserves a serious spot on your radar.
Yeah.
Forget the crowded hotspots. We're really digging into what makes this place special.
And the guide, well, it really opens your eyes to the sheer variety on offer. You've got ancient Roman cities that kind of echo through time, breathtaking natural wonders, vibrant cities humming with life, and a cultural heritage unlike any other.
And that's the hook, isn't it? This guide paints a picture of a truly authentic experience. It hints at Roman ruins that, well, hold their own against Italy's best. Sahara dunes stretching into infinity, and this genuine local hospitality that's becoming harder to find these days in those well-trodden destinations. It's about discovery, really, pure and simple.
That idea of unfiltered discovery is absolutely key. I mean, in a travel world increasingly shaped by mass tourism, Algeria seems to offer this chance to connect with a place on a more personal, less mediated level.
So let's unpack the why. Why should Algeria be on your travel shortlist? The guide kicks off with that authentic feel, the chance to step away from the usual tourist throngs.
That's definitely a powerful magnet for a lot of us. There's a real appeal in exploring somewhere that hasn't been overly polished for visitors, where you can maybe encounter a more genuine way of life.
Right. Then comes the history, specifically the Roman legacy. The guide, quite boldly, suggests Algeria's Roman ruins are on par with Italy's. What makes that comparison so striking?
Well, if you consider a site like Timgad, for instance, its grid layout is just remarkably preserved. It gives you an incredibly vivid sense of a complete Roman city. It's almost like stepping back in time.
Yeah.
The scale, the clarity of the urban planning, but adapted to that North African context, well, it offers a perspective you might not always get, even in some of Italy's more famous, but sometimes, more fragmented sites.
That's fascinating. Beyond the ancient world, though, the guide highlights the energy of its Mediterranean cities. What's the vibe there?
Think of a blend, really. Cities like Algiers and Oran, they carry these architectural echoes of their French colonial past, but they're intertwined with the intricate details of Islamic design.
To a real mix.
Exactly. You'll find bustling souks right alongside grand European-style boulevards. It's a genuine fusion of cultures reflected in daily life and just the look of the city.
And then there's the sheer diversity of the landscapes. From the Mediterranean coast right down into the Sahara, that's a pretty dramatic shift.
Absolutely dramatic. You could, theoretically, spend the morning exploring coastal towns with their, vibrant harbors, and then within a relatively short distance, find yourself immersed in the vast silence and sort of otherworldly beauty of the desert. It's a country of incredible contrasts.
The guide also emphasizes the cultural richness and the welcoming nature of the Algerian people. How does that actually manifest for a traveler?
Well, the guide suggests there's a strong tradition of hospitality where visitors are often greeted with, genuine warmth and curiosity. It speaks to a culture that seems to value connection and sharing its heritage, which can be incredibly enriching.
Definitely. And let's not forget a practical point: affordability. The guide suggests Algeria can be, easier on the wallet compared to some other Mediterranean escapes.
Yeah, that accessibility is a significant factor. It means experiencing a culturally rich and historically significant destination might be possible without the sometimes hefty price tag you find with more mainstream options.
Okay, so Algeria sounds really intriguing. Where specifically does the guide point us to? First up is Algiers, the White City. What makes it a good starting point?
Well, as the capital, Algiers is a natural hub, obviously, but it's also a city where you immediately see that blend of influences we talked about. The guide points to its Mediterranean setting and that layering of French and Islamic heritage in the architecture. It creates a visually stunning and historically resonant urban environment.
And the heart of it seems to be the Casbah, a UNESCO site.
Yeah.
What makes that area so special?
The Casbah is, it's like a living museum. A dense network of narrow, winding streets, whitewashed buildings. It's evolved organically over centuries.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and the guide highlights the historic mosques tucked within this labyrinth. They offer a really tangible link to the city's past and a glimpse into traditional Algerian life. It's a place where you can, truly feel the weight of history.
The guide also mentions Notre Dame d'Afrique for its views, the Martyrs Memorial, and the Jardin d'Essai du Hama. What do these sites add?
They offer different facets of the city, really. Notre Dame d'Afrique gives you that stunning visual perspective showing the city layout against the Mediterranean. The Martyrs Memorial is a major landmark reflecting more recent Algerian history, and the botanical gardens, the Jardin d'Essai, offer this tranquil escape and showcase the region's natural beauty. So, a bit of everything.
Next, the guide takes us back in time to Timgad, nicknamed the Roman Pompeii of Africa. That's quite a comparison. What stands out about these ruins?
What's particularly striking about Timgad, I think, is that remarkably well-preserved grid plan. It's such a hallmark of Roman urban design.
Right, very ordered.
Exactly. The guide mentions the intact amphitheater, library, temples. It lets you really visualize the structure and function of a Roman colonial city in North Africa. It offers this uniquely clear window into that era.
Then we have Constantine, the city of bridges. That sounds dramatic. What's the story there?
Oh, the drama comes from its incredible location. It's perched right atop a deep ravine, and these spectacular bridges connect its various parts. And the guide emphasizes its ancient origins, too, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities. These bridges aren't just functional. They're architectural marvels spanning these breathtaking drops.
The guide mentions the Sidi Mixed Bridge, the Palace of Ahmed Bey, the Sirte Museum, and the Emir Abdelkader Mosque. What do these tell us about Constantine?
They really showcase the city's long and varied history. You get its ancient Numidian roots reflected in the Sirte Museum, then periods of Arab and Ottoman rule, think the Palace of Ahmed Bey, the Emir Abdelkader Mosque, right up to more modern architectural feats like the Sidi Mixed Bridge. It's a city where different eras have clearly left their mark.
Okay, moving south now to Gardia in the Mzab Valley, another UNESCO site. The guide highlights its unique Ibadi architecture and desert culture. What's distinctive about this region?
The Ibadi architectural style is fascinating. It's known for its simplicity, its functionality, and how it integrates so harmoniously with that harsh desert environment. Yeah, the guide points to the distinct layout of the towns, these enclosed courtyards, and a whole way of life that's evolved in this unique cultural context. It's a glimpse into a Berber community that has preserved its traditions for centuries. Really special.
Then we head way southeast to Djennet and the Taslin Niger National Park. This sounds like a landscape straight out of another world.
It truly is surreal. The guide highlights these dramatic sandstone formations sculpted by millennia of wind and erosion, and of course the incredible prehistoric rock art.
Ah, the rock paintings.
Exactly. These paintings are such a vital record of early human life in the Sahara. It makes it a site of immense archaeological and, frankly, artistic significance.
For a change of pace, then, there's Oran, the city of Rai music. That gives it a real cultural flavor.
Absolutely. That association with Rai music gives Oran this vibrant contemporary cultural identity. But the guide also mentions its history as a major port city.
Right.
So it's been influenced by Spanish, French, and Arab cultures, which all contributes to its lively atmosphere, its beaches, and diverse cultural scene.
And things to see include Fort Santa Cruz, Madab Beach, the Sidi El Houari district. What does Oran offer a visitor overall?
Oran seems to provide a blend. You get relaxation on the beaches, historical exploration like Fort Santa Cruz and the old district of Sidi El Houari, and a taste of modern Algerian culture through its music and nightlife. It's a dynamic city with a distinct Mediterranean feel.
And finally, the Sahara Desert itself. The guide calls it endless golden horizons. What's the essential experience there, according to the guide?
I think it's the sheer scale and that stark beauty of the Algerian Sahara. It's unforgettable. The guide rightly emphasizes activities like camel treks, which let you traverse the dunes.
The classic desert experience.
Right, and sandboarding for a bit of adventure, and then that profound experience of camping under just a vast, star-filled desert sky. It's really about immersing yourself in this truly awe-inspiring natural environment.
The guide also mentions towns like Tamanrasset, Timimon, and El Oed as gateways to the desert. What makes them noteworthy?
Well, each of these towns seems to have its own unique character and serves as a starting point for different kinds of desert experiences. Tamanrasset, for example, is often a base for exploring the deeper Sahara.
Okay.
Timimon is known for its distinctive red architecture, and El Oud, with its domed roofs, has this unique charm that's adapted to the desert climate. Different flavors of the Sahara Gateway.
Now, a practical question. When's the best time to experience all this? The guide gives a seasonal breakdown, suggesting April to June and September to November for the coast. Why those months?
Yeah, those periods generally offer the most pleasant Mediterranean climate. You avoid the really intense heat of midsummer, but you still get warm, sunny days, which are ideal for exploring coastal cities and, enjoying the beaches.
Makes sense. And for the Sahara, the guide recommends October to March. Why is that the preferred window?
Well, the desert summers can be extreme. We're talking scorching temperatures. So October to March offers much milder, more comfortable conditions for desert travel. It makes activities like trekking and camping far more enjoyable and, frankly, safer.
Good point. Lastly, some practical tips. The guide reminds us about visa requirements. What's the key takeaway there?
It's just crucial to check the specific visa regulations for your nationality well in advance of your trip. Requirements can vary, so you need to be sure.
Always good advice. Language-wise, Arabic and Berber are official, but French is widely spoken in cities. How might that impact a traveler?
Well, learning a few basic Arabic or Berber phrases is always appreciated, of course.
Sure.
But the prevalence of French, especially in urban areas, can certainly make communication easier for many international visitors.
Currency is the Algerian dinar, and cash is preferred. What's the implication there?
It means it's wise to carry sufficient cash for your needs, particularly if you're venturing outside the major cities where credit card acceptance might be pretty limited.
Right. Plan ahead with cash.
Yeah.
For getting around, there are domestic flights, buses, taxis, trains. What does this suggest about accessibility within the country?
It indicates a reasonable level of infrastructure for travel, actually. It offers various options to suit different budgets and travel styles, whether you want to fly between main hubs or take a bus for a shorter hop.
Okay. And finally, safety. Generally safe, the guide says, but with a note to stay informed and use guides in remote desert areas. What's the core message?
I think like any destination, it's just important to be aware of current travel advisories and exercise common sense. And in remote areas, particularly the Sahara, local guides are really essential for safety and navigation. You wouldn't want to venture out there alone.
Definitely not. So summing it all up then, what's the core message from this deep dive into Algeria based on our travel guide source?
I think the guide paints this really compelling picture of Algeria as a country just brimming with historical significance, rich cultural experiences, and these stunningly diverse natural landscapes. And all while offering a more authentic and often more affordable alternative to the more heavily touristed destinations nearby.
Yeah, the aha moment for me is just how much Algeria seems to offer. From those incredible Roman ruins that genuinely sound like they rival Italy's, to the vast silent beauty of the Sahara and that vibrant cultural mix in the cities, it really challenges any sort of preconceived notions one might have.
Absolutely. Its diversity is really its strength. It offers something for such a wide range of interests, whether you're a history buff, a nature enthusiast, or someone just seeking unique cultural encounters.
So here's a final thought for you listening. With this incredible wealth of history, culture, and natural beauty, and that promise of a more genuine, less crowded experience, could Algeria be that truly unique and rewarding travel adventure you've been searching for? Perhaps it's time to consider venturing, off the beaten path and discovering the hidden gems of North Africa.